Commissioner Franz spoke to the Finance Committee, I think it was yesterday, I've lost track of days, yesterday or the day before, and he told Finance Committee that the governor is ready to negotiate and he expects good budgets from the House and Senate, reflecting the views of House and Senate members. But he said he wanted them to be responsible budgets, focusing on their priorities, budgets to start the negotiation process. But the trouble I have with what we're doing here is that I don't think this is responsible budgeting. And what I mean by that, I really question, I think Senator Latz asked some really good questions earlier. I think he actually asked Senator Limmer if he thought this was a good bill. And I don't know, Senator Limmer, if you do believe it's a good bill or not, but I do know it's not responsible. I don't think you or anybody believes that the employee health benefits that you're providing first and second year funding for because of the increased cost of health care are going to disappear 2 years later when you don't have any funding for it. That one-time funding for health care for employees disappears after a 2-year period. I don't think you believe that we shouldn't be providing the health care for inmates, which we're constitutionally obligated to provide funding for. I don't believe that that's responsible budgeting. The Constitution requires us to provide health care to them, and the expense has been getting higher because hepatitis C and other things with some very expensive medications. So this budget isn't one that would work. It just doesn't work. And I saw one of the Republican caucus tweets showing how you care so deeply about how we have to put more correctional officers online because of the safety risks. And the commissioner's letter says that the overall budget impact of this bill will cause a cut. And I think Senator Latz read the numbers. 78 currently employed correctional officers would be laid off if this bill was enacted. And the next biennium more would. That's not a responsible budget. I think when the governor says he expects differences between the House and Senate, it's because there are different philosophies between the majority here and the majority there. But you can't really be saying you expect to have health care costs disappear in 2 years. You can't really be serious when you say we want more correctional officers and you provide a budget that's going to cut correctional officers. Again, this is all done because of the same thing, because we didn't have a choice because of the targets. And Senator Limmer, I've heard you say you don't think these are good, you weren't happy with the target, and this is what you got to live with. But again, those are targets set by your caucus. If you don't like the targets, change them. And if you want to have a responsible budget, you don't have health care costs disappear in 2 years as if they're not real. So I think the Commissioner Franz's warning to the Finance Committee is one that we should take seriously. Pass a bill. You're the majority. You're going to pass this bill. But pass a bill that's responsible, that actually works. Don't pass a bill you can say, well, this is going to be a starting position because it's not going to end up that way. Pass a bill that would work if you got exactly what you wanted. But you can't want this. You can't want health care to disappear. You can't want the cuts in correctional officers. Take seriously your responsibility to propose a budget that works. One I may not agree with, but at least one that works. And this budget doesn't work. And I think we can do better than this.